Welcome back everyone, you're watching TorNis and I have some exciting news for the tactics, strategy, XCOM, Phoenix Point lovers and all sorts of things related to that. Yes, today I'm going to be looking at the Phoenix Point, Corrupted Horizon, enemy reveal, Acheron, and analyzing it and what's not. But before that, I want to just bring attention to the one fact. So today is September 5th, and actually this happened, this release of information happened on September 1st, apparently. Jesus, once again, PR of the Phoenix Point is so, like not reaching, apparently, and they couldn't even bother pinging people on their official Discord server, which I'm very active in. And the only reason I even found about this information, not from Twitter, not from like other people or peers, but because I randomly clicked on Phoenix Point in my Steam library. Literally, I just saw the banner for the news right there, and that's how I learned about it. Wow, I mean, at least come on, the ping for everyone, like this is pretty important information. I don't get it. Like this whole this year Phoenix Point has been dropping ball on PR sort of things. But anyway, let's watch enemy reveal.
The Acheron is the newest deadly foe to threaten humanity in Phoenix Point. Its frightening appearance is only the start of their problems. Acting as a larger support unit, the Acheron strategically assaults Phoenix operatives by unleashing crippling clouds that can blind them and weaken their ability before leaping away to heal its allies. Or worse, resurrect dead ones to fight alongside it. But the Acheron's most devastating attack is its innate ability to spread corruption, a new game mechanic that affects every soldier's will to fight. Take on these new challenges when Corrupted Horizons arrives October 1st.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We got a release date for the DLC. It's coming relatively soon, in less than a month, and this is probably a sign for me to finish my Season 4 Festering Skies playthrough, isn't it? But yeah, now I'm gonna, of course, now that you guys saw the subtitles and listened to the whole thing presentation, I want to bring some extra information that is available for everyone. So first of all, their official blog post mentioned that this DLC is gonna have the storyline, just like pretty much every other DLC. So the story arc, like, you know, a section of time-gated missions, most likely. There's gonna be new class that we have no idea about. So the player-based class, I assume, of course, which is gonna be probably the biggest power creep the Phoenix Point is gonna experience, because everything else seems like it's going to be on the side of enemies. So this particular specimen, Acheron, and also the blog post mentioned redacted other enemies or enemy. I assume it's some kind of smaller, like supporting enemy type for this DLC storyline. So there's going to be something else. Sure, awesome. Otherwise, people would complain probably why there's not enough type of new enemies to begin with in this paid DLC. Well, this whole DLC topic, we can discuss it later, and how the developers are handling this. Yeah, you saw probably like a lot of features on this demonstration, and like, oh wow, this is gonna be insane creature. Some kind of new mechanic, corruption there, crippling, the resurrection. Look at this, mass resurrection.
Worse, resurrect dead ones to fight alongside.
Well, I mean, okay, so first of all, this is a trailer to promote this DLC and PR for this unit. We're gonna be a little bit more realistic. So what they're showing here is obviously like case where most players will not experience, like, you know, purposely killing everything except for this enemy and letting, like, you can even see that there's just all the units are just standing still together, like with armor. Yeah, there we go. Check this out. Check this out. So like all the players' units are here, just like, well, it's obviously staged. Yeah, so this will never really happen.
Resurrect dead ones.
Like crazy massive resurrection. So obviously this is high priority target. Once you see it on a map, you have to take care of it. It's gonna be probably juicy as Acheron, maybe even stronger than it. But no matter how you're gonna protect this enemy, you know, hyping it up, this shit is gonna die in turn 1 or so. the moment it's being detected. And because of how the game mechanics works, unfortunately, for enemies, you can pretty much see entire map and feel them and see them right away, especially with these infiltrators and what's not. So once again, this thing will, and even if it gets away, like jumps or something, it might resurrect a couple units, but then there's so what. And apparently we don't know the AI, we don't know really how it's gonna be in combat, but apparently this is a kind of like support and aggressive unit. It's gonna jump on your dudes, and maybe you can even bait it that way. And it's supposed to do these different clouds. There's a purple one, there's the yellow one. So already people in the Discord server are calling this unit the fart. The fart master here. So yeah, so it's supposed to be unit that gets close to you and even melee range pretty much, and does these farts, and you will obviously be able to alpha strike it to hell on your turn, like, unless of course these mechanics that corruption, we don't know what corruption really is. There was some cool icon there on the start of the trailer somewhere. There we go. I don't know what this icon is. This is a brand new one, like circle with some mind. I don't know what that. Oh, maybe it's. Wait, maybe maybe this is actually not related to this guy. Maybe it's one of those psionic things or other abilities I never actually used in a game, so I don't know how they look. Yeah, it might be something else actually. Write down in the comments if you know what it is. But maybe it's a brand new icon. Okay, so. Yeah, we still don't know exactly, like some of these clouds do, maybe minus will, maybe actually kind of some kind of temporarily stun or slow down of AP. Could be a lot of things. But nonetheless, good players, experienced players, those who already had a lot of fun within the game, they all know how to deal with the big units like this. It will get shot down instantly, pretty much. This game is completely unbalanced still after the last patch, as you all, in fact, the last patch made things even easier for players. You remember my last video about the Phoenix Point, probably my review of the patch. And also I learned, by the way, that October 1st is going to be the DLC release, the console release at the same time, this Behemoth Edition. And unfortunately, there's not going to be a patch for balance. Balance patch is planned after that only. And so they're basically, I guess, leaving DLC 4 on, you know, like, they're just gonna leave it there, and the DLC 3 is not even properly fixed. Also, there's a bunch of exploits and other issues that's technically still not taken care of. So unfortunately, yeah, the spread of the focus on dev team is kind of weird, and once again, I will talk about it later. The main balance thing I just mentioned is just these top tier skills, the abuses, combinations, and things like which will still allow players on to clear entire map on turn 1 or close to it at least. And there's some obvious things that needs to be looked on still, and people, like, if you go to the official Discord server of the game, there's always, you know, there's a problem with balance when there's casuals, the veterans and hardcore players are constantly in a debate with each other and like discussing the balance of the game. And even though the latest patches make things even easier in general, like, people still not happy, and because the game like still doesn't have the freaking the balance that makes at least most group of gamers happy with their own the cycle of gameplay. But there's a lot of feelings towards the game and discussions about it. It's not just simple, oh, like one skill breaks entire thing. No, there's more than that. Of course, diplomacy have to be the stealing, the raids, diplomacy, the Haven system needs a big rework in my opinion, and I think that's been coming though for multiple years. Some council members like teasing it's the community members that have connection towards developers. They've been talking about the future of patches, and that might come probably after DLC 4. And yeah, I personally cannot wait for the Haven redesign, because this is I think the Geoscape and Haven system in this game is one of the biggest like attractions in the because you have like full freedom of exploration, expansions, the base control, aircrafts. With DLC 3 you have air game. So not that you sometimes, you know, kind of like get bored of battles, yeah, there and there. But so this is where the Geoscape should pump your interest. But unfortunately, Haven system is have a lot of like these weird flaws and even the inconsistency with lore, but that's a different topic. Yeah, well, back to the topic of this unit. Once again, I just want to express my personal opinion as a legendary Iron Man player, Legend Iron Man, or whatever the hardest difficulty is, called at this day. I'm just gonna destroy this unit is the first moment is gonna be visible. Like you no matter what, even if I have self restrictions with some like things, some weapons or skills, doesn't matter. This has to die, like obviously. And once again, I'm pretty sure, like, no matter how the people are gonna hype this or the trailer, the other people on Discord server, like council members, trying to make sound like this is gonna be some sentient AI here. Like, I mean, the council members did try to hype DLC 2, DLC 3. I see it myself with my own eyes. And then at the release of each DLC, they started trashing the game, just like players again, because unbalanced bugs and more exploits and all that. So this obviously a similar situation is gonna most likely happen again. And like, oh no, that Myrmidon unit like is gonna be so crazy annoying for players. In reality, AI with that unit was so dumbass, like I couldn't even believe it myself. And of course, oh, you guys are gonna have so much trouble defeating the corrupted Haven, the pillar boss thing, that Haven node that you have to destroy, corruption node. In reality, that turned to be complete joke. You just can cheese this thing and kill it for free, where this thing cannot even do anything to your squad, essentially. It's like free kill. Yeah, and I'm not having hopes for this unit because it seems like a lot of capabilities and abilities. So it's just gonna jump on you and expose itself and then like do some shitty fart that's probably not good, even that relevant. And then not even use correct ability, maybe even, and it will just die instantly, obviously. But we'll see, of course. I look forward for DLC 4 already, and there's gonna be new class, there's new smaller enemy types, and the story arc, of course. They said that there's gonna be another, again, faction that was like experimenting. You see this thing is inside the green, like, that's called in English, like this experimental science lab kind of glass, and it breaks down probably and then wreaks havoc. So this is gonna be that. Yeah, but once again, AI of this unit is gonna be the most important factor. If it's gonna just jump, or if it's gonna try to hide itself and just like chill, maybe at least if it purposely doesn't go in a battle. I also worry that if you detect it and you shoot at it, like, and alert it, computer will just like a dumbass will just move like no matter what to you. So it will not try to stay out of the fire, it will try to hide. This unit seems like a perfect backline support thing. Once everybody's dead on frontline, this thing jumps and then resurrects. That would be the best case scenario, but I don't have any hope for the proper AI on this thing. I gotta be honest here. Hopefully I'm wrong, but yeah, that's my analysis of this. There's some different types of farts. Visually, we cannot really understand what they do. There's no interface outside of visuals. Interface is purposely disabled, so yeah, we cannot really judge anything here. And this trailer is staged, obviously, so it's not really a representation of actual gameplay. But that's it. The information from Block I told. There's some teaser, more information from council members on Discord server. I already also talked about that. And yeah, just now that I want to, before I finish this video, I want to bring one important topic to this game, is that how the DLCs being treated and like their release schedule, the roadmap. Just like, so first of all, this is paid DLC, yeah? And I've been playing a lot of indie games and a lot of these roguelikes, roguelites, and the games that are generally gets released and then they get well, early access or full access, and then they get like these free patches with a huge community, like patches and just additional content on the way for free. And I'm actually surprised how many games are being competitive with each other in that genre and this whole indie scene, because they have to basically do that to get some more attention and get more success to all these huge free content updates. And on the other hand, here we have like DLCs that takes months to sometimes delayed to develop, and for this tactic type game, like, I don't know, they basically at the end of the day they just release couple enemies there and there, and one gimmick to the game, or one extra customization or two extra customization options bring into the game, and it just feels like a huge, just small piece of the bigger game that you have to pay as well for. I kind of miss this whole the XCOM 2 expansion kind of deal, where the next release of content is like so worth it, and you're worth the wait, and all that expansion content. It's just like, I feel like this game would also benefit from like the actual big expansions that also kind of fit better in the lore, when thought about that, instead of just rewriting or adding something weird more into the existing game lore on with each of those small DLCs. I don't know, I just it's kind of I'm coming here from the point that it just, as a tactic strategy lover, I don't know, there's just not that much to look for at the end of the day. Of course, I'm playing and streaming, it's specifically making content because I'm a streamer and I love these games, but I'm very like exception when it comes to that. There's and this game is suffering as well from the lack of the support for the mods, and unlike XCOM 2 or any other competitors have built-in mod support, which is definitely a shame, because there could be a lot of fun with the mods in this one as well. Definitely a shame. I really love this whole free aim systems and many freedoms in Geoscape and the flow of the campaigns that you do, but there's just too much unbalance, and many already years passed, and still the game is pretty much similar how in the core aspects of the problems. It's similar to how it was almost close to the release. Sure, more customizations, options, more classes, more like the buildings that expand on the choices, more story arcs, more missions, but when you go to the battle, you just, especially if you don't self-restrict yourself from using the top tier abilities and a lot of equipment, if you don't do that at all, like, every battle is gonna be kind of feeling almost the same, because even though I see they tried, developers try to create like counters and try to have different cool units, like, you know, Umbras and Umbras, these ancients, and this type of unit is going to be interesting. Like the Myrmidon is like a harasser explosion thing, but at the end of the day, the human players have too much power in this game, to the fault that thanks to some specific skills that allow you to refund action points and will points and all sorts of things like that, like healing system in this game, and you can just annihilate entire thing in a matter of turns, or even one turn still. Well, just me rambling about the current state of the game. I generally do that on my normal streams of Phoenix Points when I do that. Obviously, I want to continue my campaign for Season 4 before we get the release of this DLC. You can look forward for me, obviously, playing it. And once again, I hope I'm wrong on some things I said about this enemy and AI specifically binded to it, but we're gonna see it ourselves, yeah. And once again, the trailer is just a little misrepresentation of actual gameplay, definitely just to hype it up and showcase its abilities, which is not a bad thing, but I see basically on Steam forums and in Reddit, like in Discord server, it's a bit different. In Discord server, the discussion is always about balance and how this game is, you know, like having these negative things still. In Steam on Reddit, I see casuals basically are complaining how this thing is gonna wreck their game, it's gonna be so hard. Please give us the players more power. We also want something new and cool. Well, there's gonna be new classes, just haven't been showcased and everything. So they're already like super scared of this enemy. And well, I mean, it's like, I don't know, make a trailer for Siren unit. Oh, this unit is gonna mind control your unit and bring devastation to the Phoenix Point and bring the threat to humanity, and like the Siren is gonna ruin everything. No, fucking not. You see, Siren, unless you're dashing everything into darkness and you don't really know how to play tactic games, you, of course, don't let Sirens ambush you and then like they will get free turn on you and then do whatever they want, slice you down or mind control. Of course, no. You see Siren, you shoot the head down or kill it even fully, like destroy armor. With there's plenty of abilities with that. Shred armor, destroy the body, dead. It's no problem. It's all fake, like news about, oh, mind control. This thing, oh, it's gonna do some fart. It's gonna scare your squad. Yeah, it's gonna do some fart and then it's gonna die. Like, or it's even gonna die from the all across the map once it's gonna be detected. It's again the downside of this unit's big size. It's gonna fall like any other Chiron or the most ultimate unit in the game, Skyla. That is also subject to the turn 1 or cheeses and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Keep coming back to my newest streams and new videos about the game that I like to cover, game news, and of course Phoenix Point, more content coming up as well. So if you want to see more of my Legend Iron Man gameplay and what's not, subscribe to the channel. And keep in mind that I'm also streaming almost every day live on twitch.tv/TorNis. You can find me there and interact, which is pretty much the best way to do so because it's a live stream. All right, goodbye.